Do you know why the chicken crossed the road? Because on the other side was a clown. Now that's a joke to break the ice, but it's also a playful introduction to our topic today, fear. Fear, that icy hand on your heart, that adrenaline rush, that thing that makes your knees go all wobbly. Fear, my friends, is a complex beast. It's an emotional response, yes, but it's also physical, psychological, and can be as irrational as a chicken being scared of a clown. Funny, isn't it? But that's the thing about fear. It's not always rational. It can be triggered by anything, even the most seemingly benign things. A clown, for instance, is meant to bring joy and laughter, but for our chicken, and perhaps for some of you, it's a source of terror. So, if you're a chicken, watch out for those clowns. They're terrifying. Now, let's dive into some of the most common and some not so common phobias. You might be surprised. We all know about acrophobia, the fear of heights, and arachnophobia, the fear of spiders. Heck, some of us might even shudder at social situations, a condition known as social phobia. But what about the more unusual fears out there? For instance, there's coulrophobia, the fear of clowns, which could turn a child's birthday party into a fright fest. And then there's the lesser-known electrophobia, the fear of chickens. Yes, you heard it right, chickens. Imagine being chased around by a fluffy hen, heart pounding, palms sweating. It's not something you'd want to cluck about, is it? Then there's nomophobia, the fear of being without your mobile phone. I bet a few of you are squirming at the thought of that one. Well, we've all got our fears, don't we? Even if it's just a fear of clowns or chickens. Now, how do you face these fears head on? It's like a wrestling match, you against your fears. Imagine stepping into the wrestling ring, the crowd roaring, the spotlight on you. But your opponent isn't some muscled giant, it's your fear. How do you win this match? First, acknowledge the fear. Like a wrestler sizing up their opponent, you need to recognize what you're dealing with. You can't fight what you don't acknowledge. So, step one, don't shy away, face it head on. Next, understand your fear. A wrestler studies their opponent's moves. Similarly, try to understand why you're afraid. Was it a past experience, a genetic predisposition, or just an irrational fear that cropped up? Understanding the root cause can help you strategize your battle plan. Now let's talk about a real-life fear wrestler, shall we? Meet Jack, a professional wrestler who was petrified of heights. Yes, a wrestler afraid of heights. Irony at its best. He was set to compete in a ladder match, a match where the winning title hangs from the ceiling, and the first one to climb a ladder and grab it wins. Jack knew he had two opponents, the wrestler and his fear of heights. He acknowledged his fear, understood it stemmed from a childhood incident, and decided to face it. He started small, climbing a stepladder, then a tree, and soon he was scaling walls. The day of the match came. Jack climbed the ladder, each rung a victory over his fear. And guess what? He won. Not just the match, but also against his fear. So remember, fear is like a wrestling match, and just like Jack, you can win. It's all about acknowledging the fear, understanding it, and then facing it head on. No matter how big or small your fear is, you have the power to overcome it. So remember, the next time you're in the ring with your fears, you've got this. You're the champion here. Did you know laughter can be the best medicine for fear? Indeed it can. It's called laughter therapy, and it's a bit like tickling a dragon. Ridiculous, isn't it? But hear me out. Imagine you're in a dark alley and you spot a shadowy figure. Your heart's pounding like a drum at a rock concert, but then the figure trips over a banana peel and tumbles down like a sack of potatoes. You'd laugh, wouldn't you? That's laughter therapy in a nutshell. Laughter has this uncanny ability to diffuse tension and reduce the intensity of fear. It's like a magic potion that transforms dragons into harmless, clumsy lizards. Sure, it might seem silly at first, but when you're facing your fears, laughter can be your secret weapon. It's like a burst of sunshine on a gloomy day. So the next time you're feeling scared, try laughing. It might just scare your fears away. Finally, let's talk about the power of visualization. Visualization is like magic. It's like conjuring images in your mind, creating a mental blueprint of the success you seek. Let's take an example of a chap who was terrified, absolutely petrified of public speaking. His knees would knock, his palms would sweat, and his voice, it would wobble like a jelly on a roller coaster. But then he discovered the magic of mind pictures. He started picturing himself before an eager audience, delivering a speech with confidence and poise. He visualized every detail, the applause, the nodding heads, the smiles. He saw himself as a master orator, weaving a spell with his words. And guess what? Eventually he did. He walked onto that stage and delivered a speech that left the audience spellbound. So, Paint a picture in your mind. You, fearless. You, victorious.